Hello everyone, Jeff with the Green Review here. Unfortunately, I'm not wearing a jetpack. This is a backpack leaf blower. There's a lot of different kinds of leaf blowers out there on the market today. They can be battery operated, electric or gas powered, and they can be handheld or worn as a backpack. A leaf blower will make landscape cleanup easier and noisier. Handheld leaf blowers are lighter and quieter than handheld gasoline-powered blowers, and they're easier to start. They can handle driveways, decks, and patios. Battery-powered blowers are more mobile, and they're usually less powerful and need recharging, so keep spare batteries on hand. And those can be used on rooftops for flat areas or in patios. So there's a lot of places that you can use those small handheld battery-operated leaf blowers. The gas-powered backpack blowers can move much larger piles of leaves, and they can run longer, and they aren't restricted to being near an electrical outlet. But gas engines require more maintenance to keep them running, and of course they pollute more and send a lot of pollutants into the atmosphere. Some blowers convert to vacuums, especially some of the electric ones. They allow you to collect light landscape debris such as small twigs and especially leaves this time of year, and they often grind that debris, simplifying the disposal and creating mulch for use around your landscape. Be sure to use a dust mask when you're using that vacuum because the bag allows a lot of dust to escape. You might ask yourself, why not just use a leaf rake? Well, a leaf rake is great for small landscapes, and I talk about them in another video. They can pick up large leaves, but leaf rakes are not good at small leaves like honeylocust leaflets. Rakes damage grass plants by tearing off leaves, and they can uproot entire grass plants. This is especially true in shady lawns where grass plants don't grow as well and have small root systems. Where are shady lawns? Under trees, of course. So rakes don't work as well as a leaf blower on those situations. And they don't work as well as leaf blowers at removing leaves from the top of a hedge or from evergreens. And finally, they don't work as well as leaf blowers in tight areas like between boulders or at the base of a fence or between boards on a deck. As the old Jim Croce song, "You Don't Mess Around with Jim," says, you don't tug on Superman's cape and you don't blow leaves into the wind. Or was it you don't spit into the wind? Well, either way, the best way to blow leaves is with the wind. If necessary, you can use the sailboat technique of tacking into the wind by blowing leaves diagonal into the wind, back and forth, until you get the leaves to go where you need them to go. You should be wearing hearing protection no matter what kind of blower you're operating. Wearing goggles and a dust mask is also a good idea, especially on areas where you have gravel driveways or stuff where you're going to be creating a lot of dust in the air. So what are you going to do with all the leaves? If you use a vacuum that grinds them up, you can use them in the landscape beds where they act as a mulch over the winter and then decay to become part of the soil. They can also be mixed into compost piles. It doesn't seem like a good idea to bag them up and pay to send them away, just to turn around in the spring and buy some compost to put in your garden. Even if your city has crews that come and vacuum up the leaves from your curbside and then mulch them, it still seems like it's better if you use them yourself. To make it easier to gather the leaves, you can blow the leaves onto a tarp. The tarp can be dragged onto the curb or tipped into a disposal bag, or you can use it to drag them off the lawn and spread them into your landscape. If the leaves sit on the lawns for a few days, that's okay, but if they're on there longer, they start covering up the grass long enough that the grass will get powdery mildew, it'll start turning yellow, and you'll have grass plants declining because of lack of sunlight, and it's at the time of year where they're trying to store up nutrients to survive the winter. So you don't want to leave the leaves on the lawn too long. If it rains on the leaves, it's harder to get them off, so you want to get them up before there's a rain, or a snow maybe. Blowing the leaves several times off an area is easier than waiting until the leaves are created piles that are too big to blow. After the last leaf blowing, any leaves that are left can be mowed into mulch and left on the lawn. The lawns can have about a ½ an inch of that mulched leaves spread into the grass plants onto their crowns. And if you start getting thicker than that, that mulching mower collection or disposal of the leaves gets to be too thick and it can damage the grass too. So mulching mowers are great, but leaf blowers are better in this situation if you have a lot of leaves. Some people only have 1 or 2 trees. In that case, rakes are fine. A small leaf blower would be fine. If you got a large lawn area like what's behind me and there's a lot of trees in it, then having a gas-powered leaf blower will oftentimes be the best way to go. And this is Jeff with a Greener View. Thanks for watching. Now look at all the leaves. A blizzard of leaves coming off this red maple. Wow. There's no point in doing the leaf blowing here until this tree is done, except unless I have enough where I can blow one time through and then maybe a second time through later, and that way I have small piles that I can just blow into the woods and not have to worry about trying to pick up a lot of leaves. And now this is Jeff with a Greener View. Thanks for watching.